We are back. Our next guest celebrated his birthday this past weekend. St. Catharines Mayor Walter Sendzik. Happy birthday. I'm not going to sing. We don't have a cake for you, but I do want to ask you a question. On the Facebook post, there was some kind of question about the age you were claiming to be.
I'm saying 2020 was a mulligan, so I'm going to do the year all over again. So I'm going to be 48 all over again. That was my promise to myself.
As long as, you know, your use of numbers for the birthday doesn't reflect on how you look at the budget for next year. Let's face it. But again, happy birthday from all of us here at YourTV. City Hall opening up this week, and it's the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and again, we're following the RED protocol. We're in the RED framework, and honestly, Mike, we're doing it in a very cautious way. And so it's by appointment where we have at City Hall, but our facilities are opening up as well. And again, the library is taking an extra week or two. We're working with our community to rebuild that confidence. You know, at our facilities, we've got the heightened precautions for our staff and for our customers. And so this is what we call a very steady, slow reopening of our facilities to just get people back into the comfort zone of being out in the public again.
You made waves a couple of weeks ago at the region with your motion about the wine industry. Can you tell us what was voted for and what you're hoping to accomplish with this?
Yeah, it's really about supporting the wine industry here in Ontario, the VQA wine industry. And one of the key parts is that wineries in Ontario are charged a tax under the province. It's about 6.1%. And it's part of this complex tax system that involves imported wines and involves local Ontario-made wines. And it really does create, through the LCBO, you sort of scratch your head and go, why is the domestic wines being charged this 6.1 that kind of doesn't make sense? So it really has been something that the industry has been pushing for years, Mike. And when you hear the province talking about supporting our local businesses and rebuilding our economy, building back stronger, these are one of the areas where we can really support local businesses that are creating a product right from the soil here in Niagara and putting them into a bottle and then moving them to market. If we can get the province to move on something like this, it'll allow for small, medium-sized wineries, large wineries to reinvest in the innovation of their production, but also help to pay their employees a little bit more in terms of what their take-home pay is. And so it's really an important part to support a growing part of our local economy here in Niagara.
And a number of people are working in that industry as well, so that would go a long way. Speaking of people working and being paid more, St. Catharines is looking at and applying for becoming a living wage employer, and that's good news.
It's a certification program that is by the Ontario Living Wage Organization, and they are working with municipalities and businesses across Ontario and really getting a focus on what does a living wage mean to a community and what's the result of it. And so, Mike, here in Niagara, it's about $18.12. And so when they look at the criteria and they look at if someone's paid $18.12 an hour, what is their life like? And that is like that threshold when it comes to how do you lift people out of poverty? And they're working, and we talk a lot about the living poor in our community. It's about their take-home pay. And so when you look at the living wage, $18.12, what the Living Wage Network is doing is encouraging businesses and municipalities to support the living wage, but also to be a leader and a champion. So we're coming in at the supporter level, and our goal over the next 3 years is to move from supporter to leader to champion. So it's a criteria that we have to go through, but in the end, it's also shining a light on how do we make sure that we're not leaving people behind. And one of the ways is by encouraging everybody in business and in government to be paying at least a living wage.
State of the City coming up March 11th, 7 o'clock. We're carrying it here on YourTV. You still focusing on compassionate St. Catharines?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad you brought it up. So it's the compassion has really gotten us through the last 12 months of COVID in our community. And I'm so proud of how the community has responded to COVID and what we've done together. And really, it's going to be an opportunity to look back to the year that was, look at where we are today, and then also look forward to where we're going. And Mike, there's some great things that are about to happen in the city of St. Catharines over the next year to 3 years. And what I want to be able to do is thank people for what they've done, do a reality check of where we are today, but also let's look up into the horizon and let's point to some of the amazing things that are just around the corner. And I believe that momentum's coming back to our city, and the state of the city is going to be all about that.